Well, good afternoon and welcome. I see Gabrielle's here, Kate. I think both of you are in my class, so it's good to see you in here. Um, but yeah, welcome to this session in the Study Abroad Virtual Showcase. Today we're going to hear from International Studies Abroad, represented by Jenny Robinson here. So she's going to present and talk through a few slides that she's prepared and then answer any questions y'all may have. Everybody knows, this session is being recorded so that others can view it later if they need to. So, all right, Jenny, I'll turn it over to you.
Thanks so much. And thank you guys for hopping on. Oh, I see Arian in the waiting room. I'm going to throw up the PowerPoint real quick. Let's see. So like Chad said, my name is Jenny Robinson, and I'm with International Studies Abroad, one of UA's study abroad partners. Let's see. Well, I had it ready to go.
Technology.
Yeah, it's each time getting this started up is. There we go. Okay. And so you should see the scuba divers now, right? Looking good? Okay, awesome. So we're going to dive in. Like I was saying, International Studies Abroad, or ISA, is one of UA's study abroad partners. And so what do? We're basically an education abroad organization, and we facilitate the study abroad experience in more than 30 countries around the world. So essentially, we work with universities that offer classes in English, so you can take classes towards your degree without necessarily having to learn the host country's language. You're more than welcome to make it as immersive as you like, but just know that it's not a barrier to studying abroad. I always like to point out that similar to UA, we refer to ourselves as an education abroad organization. And I wanted to see if you guys had any thoughts on that, study abroad compared to education abroad and how that differs. Let me know what you think. Feel free to drop it in the chat, or you're also welcome to unmute yourself and let me know if you have any ideas about that.
Yeah, I'll start. I think the difference probably personally were to go over abroad, I would want to take a class while I would be there and just kind of learn more about the culture too. I feel like it's just so different everywhere you go in the world, and I've personally never studied abroad. I've always wanted to. But I think that it's more meaningful in a way, and in a sense, if you take a class while you're there. But either way, it would be great. But I would much rather take a course as well while I would be abroad. So, if that makes sense.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I love that. And then Gabrielle or Sarah, did you have any thoughts on that also?
No, but I will say, like, I guess I do then. If I think it'd be meaningful to take a class as well, because like then you get to also see like the education part of the culture too, not just like everyday life, you know.
Sure, yeah, like how their education system differs. Sometimes their lecture style is different. Yeah, I love these answers. One of the things to keep in mind when you're exploring your options for study abroad programs is that study abroad is taking classes abroad, but you can do so much more. You can do an internship placement, service learning, which is basically volunteering through the community with a reflective component. You could potentially do research abroad. We even have Christian faith-based programs as well. So education abroad really encapsulates all of the experiential learning opportunities that you could do abroad while you're a student at UA. So we facilitate all of those, and I'll touch briefly on each one, and just know that those are some options to consider. Part of what we do, so from the moment you decide that you're interested, we're there to help all the way up until you return home. So we can help you explore program options, find a program that has the classes that you need for your degree, or help you find an internship that'll really enhance your studies at UA and get you ready to enter the job market. While when you arrive in country, there's staff there ready to pick you up from the airport. They'll take you around your new host university campus. They'll help you navigate the local transportation system. So you're never just on your own. You really have that support from the minute you land to the moment you get back. And then why we do it. So myself included among my peers, most of us have studied abroad or spent a significant of time abroad. I know that for me personally, study abroad was the absolute highlight of my time in college. I first went abroad for a month-long homestay program in Costa Rica because I was motivated to improve my Spanish. And from there, I was hooked. I ended up doing a research program over the next summer, and then I did a service learning project and even an internship when I got into grad school. So I'm a huge advocate for education abroad and really taking advantage of all the different types of programs that are out there, and helping students realize that oftentimes you're going to go into this experience with an expectation in mind and walk away with so many other things. It just opens your mind to the possibilities that you could do both with your degree and your future career path. So we're just passionate about helping you find those opportunities and make the right match for your goals. So why go through all this? It's a lot of paperwork. Sometimes you got to file for visas, you got to get your passport, get your classes approved. Why jump through all these hoops? Honestly, like I said, it was the absolute highlight of my time in college. Stepping outside of that American culture bubble and really exposing yourself to other cultures and ways of life. If you are trying to improve your language skills, we've all heard and would probably agree that spending time in the host language is the best way to do it. And again, it's not a barrier at all if that's not what interests you, but definitely a great reason to get abroad. And then again, looking ahead towards after graduation, especially now, employers are looking for cross-cultural skills, cross-cultural competency, the ability to adapt to new situations, and the ability to work with a diverse team of coworkers. And so by studying abroad, you're building those soft transferable skills. Moving on to the next one. So we're going to do a quick little activity. These are 3 common myths as to why students don't study abroad. 2 of them are true and 1's a lie. So feel free to drop in the chat which one you think is the lie. Is it that many students just don't have time to study abroad? Is it that only certain majors are able to study abroad? Or is it that you can't apply financial aids toward your study abroad program? So feel free to drop which letter you think it is on the chat, which one's not true, and we'll go over that. I keep trying to pull the chat up and it's just not letting me. But as you answer, chat, if you do see answers coming in, I'm having problems pulling up. There it goes. And no wrong answers. There's no like pass fail on this. So whatever your first inclination is. So I'm seeing 1 for only certain majors, a couple for financial aid being an issue. Awesome. So for the big reveal, trick question, they're all not entirely true. So getting into this, as far as not having time, I know that this one applied to me. Again, I was working full-time when I was a student, and so the idea of a semester or academic year abroad just didn't seem like a good fit for me, which is why I did a lot of short-term summer programs. So we offer programs as short as 2 or 3 weeks at different points throughout the summer. Some students like to do kind of a Maymester program where the entire program happens within the month of May. There's J-term programs so that you can be back on campus in time for the spring semester. We even have students join us post-graduation because they regret that they didn't get the chance to study abroad, but they're looking more at a professional development focus. So this is a way for them to do that. So there really are plenty of opportunities to get abroad if you'd like. I definitely encourage students to still consider a semester or academic year abroad because I think it's the higher impact program, but there's no reason that you can't participate in some of these other options as well and squeeze them into your schedule. As far as majors, I know there's also kind of this common myth that STEM majors, really specific science and math, can't get abroad because their classes are so specific, but it's not entirely true. With some planning, you can find classes that'll work for those majors. And then if you still have gen eds and electives, classes like that, those are the easiest to find on almost any program, the easiest to get approved. So it is possible for all majors to study abroad. It's just a matter of starting early, planning, talking to your academic advisors, and identifying a good time to go abroad and how much flexibility you have with your courses. And then of course, we're here to help with that as well. So you can send us a list of the classes you need. We'll do a search and find programs where those classes are offered. So definitely lean on us in that regard as well. And then the financial aid one got skipped. So for funding, in most cases, as long as you are enrolled full-time and the classes count towards your degree, financial aid applies. So this is definitely a conversation you want to have at the study abroad office and with your financial aid office to make sure what your package looks like and how much of it is transferable. But for the most part, about 50% of our students use financial aid to go on their program, and about 75 of students receive some sort of grant or scholarship from us to help fund their program. So in addition to UA's Study Abroad Scholarship Fund, you should also be applying to ours. Only about 12% of our students do, so it is a small applicant pool. It's worth writing the essay, going to the writing center, getting it revised, and submitting your application. And then there's plenty of outside scholarships as well. Some of our host universities abroad have their own scholarship fund for ISA students. I've actually worked with a couple of students that applied for their home university's scholarship, our scholarship fund, and then the host university abroad, their scholarship fund, and got all three, and it fully funded their trip. So it's not something to bank on, but you should absolutely be submitting an application for all possible sources of funding, because sometimes the money's out there and students just aren't taking the time to apply. So keep that in mind, and then be sure to have that conversation with your financial aid office about how your package would apply to study abroad. I'll backtrack a little bit just to talk about the different types of programs. So we talked a little bit about education abroad. This falls under that. So if you're looking for something in addition to taking classes abroad or as an alternate to taking classes abroad, you could potentially do ISA internships. So these are custom placements based on your previous experience and your career goals. So you'll actually go through a career advising session where we'll help you identify concrete skills that you're hoping to develop through an internship, and then work with our network of corporate partners around the world to find a placement for you where you'll be working full-time abroad. You'll still have the same support from the ISA staff that a normal ISA study abroad student would have. So you'll still do cultural activities, excursions, all of that good stuff, but you'll be interning full-time and working through a professional development course. So highly career skills focused rather than taking classes. We do have, moving into the new normal with COVID, new virtual internships available as well, where you're essentially working with corporate partners through a remote internship. And what's cool about those is you're still getting that cross-cultural competency piece where you're having to work within the norms of that company's and country's cultural norms. But you also have a professional mentor throughout the program. So you're not just sitting alone on a laptop working on projects they send your way. You're constantly interacting with your peers and with the mentor from the company to produce a project for that company. So still a cool opportunity if travel just isn't in the books for you. Like I was just talking about, should have switched to this slide, but just know that both are an option. You could potentially do the internship abroad, or you also have the at-home virtual option available. Service learning is another cool opportunity. So it's essentially volunteering, but we don't call it that because there's more of a reflective piece that goes into this. So we partner with nonprofits, NGOs, organizations that were already working in the local community to support the local community's needs. And they've opened up opportunities for students to come in and assist with their projects. So you can see some of the sectors that we offer in different locations, like community development, education, human rights. So there's the possibility that you could go abroad, take classes, and do a service learning project on the side. You could also potentially go abroad and just focus on the service learning, and it could be for a whole semester or during one of our summer programs. So another great way either to get hands-on experiential skills that you could put on a future resume, or if you're just looking to get more immersed in the local culture and actually interact with the locals, this is a great way to do it as well. And then for students that are looking for more faith-based support, we also have our Veritas division. So we work with ministries in the local communities where you'll come in with your cohort, still serve the local community, but there's more of a spiritual support component to the program. And there's a couple unique courses available for these students as well, like our comparative religions course or that service learning practicum. So again, just another unique opportunity that for some students, if this match aligns with your goals and interests, another option that's available. And then EuroScholars. So this is a really cool opportunity for students that are highly motivated to get involved with research. We work with a couple research institutions in European countries where you actually work under the supervision of a professor for a full semester on a research project. These are limited to just semester length, so no short-term options here, but again, if it catches your interest, you're more than welcome to reach out and we can talk to you a little bit more about that one as well. So with all that being said, we're here to help. So if you have any questions concerning finding classes, looking at all the different options within a certain country, how to apply for scholarships, all of that, that's why we're here to help. The main phone number and email are listed here, but I'm going to send out a follow-up email after this with my contact information so that if you ever want to reach out with any questions or to schedule an advising appointment, you have that. And I will quickly pull up the main ISA website just to show you how you can start exploring on your own. And then I'll open the floor for some questions too. So starting on the ISA homepage, let's see. So studiesabroad.com, the easiest way to start looking at programs is to go to the programs tab and then click study. And from here, you can start exploring programs based on what you have in mind. So let's just say we're a business major, really like the idea of Spain, and maybe summer works best for our schedule. So you can specify all of that and it will filter programs that match. You can click on any of these. Maybe you're like Barcelona, sounds good. And on that main program page is where you can see the dates for the program, prices, all the other requirements like GPA, things like that. And when you go to the academics tab, that's where you'll be able to see the anticipated course list. So this is a sampling. Sometimes the host university adjusts what courses they're offering, but this will give you an idea of what's available and if it could potentially work for your degree. You can click on any of these to see a description of the course. And then if you get to the point where you're working with UA and ready to apply and need the syllabus for the course in order to get it approved, you just reach out to us and we'll pull that syllabus for you so that your advisor can look it over. That's kind of the basis of how to navigate the website, where you can start exploring programs and get an idea of what might interest you. And then of course, at any point throughout that process, if you have questions, you're welcome to reach out and we'll help. Did anybody have any questions so far, whether it be about a specific ISA program or just study abroad in general?
Where's your favorite place that you've ever gone abroad? If you had to choose.
I will say probably Buenos Aires, Argentina. I just loved the energy of the city. I love all of South America. I had got the chance to visit quite a few, like Costa Rica, Bolivia, Peru, Ecuador, and they're all unique in their own way, but there's something about the energy of the city in Buenos Aires that was just absolutely loved. So that's, I think I'd have to go with that one. But are you most interested in a certain area of the world, or what did you have in mind?
Honestly, I almost studied abroad last summer and did a 4-week fashion internship abroad. It wasn't
cool.
like an internship, so it was for class. But it was it was like Milan, Paris.
Right, yeah.
Like different fashion capitals like that. And I wanted to do it so bad, but with COVID, it ended up falling through. So this summer, if I stay to get my master's, then I would absolutely love to study abroad this summer. So I'm actually excited. Y'all's website seems really informative.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go check it out and see
For
what
sure.
all matches with what I was going to do from this past summer. So
Yeah, definitely follow up. I know again, it was the absolute highlight of my time in college. And I think that for most students, when they get to that point of graduation, that's always the one thing that we wish we had done was study abroad. So
right.
There are opportunities. If you want more information on similar to what you were looking at before COVID, we also have fashion internships and things like that. And it's still a great opportunity, seniors and even post-graduation, to still go abroad for an internship and get that experience. So it's definitely not too late.
Right. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Did we have any other questions about narrowing down programs or how to get started? Looking good.
I did want to mention, Jenny, you were showing your website and you were showing how to look at different programs. And one of the things you were showing was the courses. And that is an important piece for students to consider, what courses are you going to take, and how will that count towards your UA degree, because you'll transfer those courses back to UA. And so there is a course equivalency process that you would go through. And Jenny sort of referenced that when she was talking about if you need the syllabus and that kind of thing. So just to say that on the UA end, you would submit those courses for review, and then the UA equivalent to those courses would be given, so you can kind of see exactly how that credit would transfer for you. So just to mention that, and we explain that in our application. We have workshops about it as well on a weekly basis explaining that.
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you. And I know too, I should have mentioned, for both internships and the service learning, you can do that for or without credit. So if your degree program will take the credit, we can help facilitate that. Or if you're just going abroad for the experience because it's post-graduation, or maybe there's not room for it in your degree plan, you can do either option. So just know that that is something too. Were there any other questions? Just anything in general? It can be something specific to a certain country or just ISA programs in general. Either way, I'll be sending.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
What are the dates for, is there like a specific, is there a hard date that you would have to register by before, if it were, say, summer 2021? Is that all on the website as well?
Sure, yeah. So you will want to first start with UA. It'll be a dual application. So you'll apply with UA and ISA or whatever provider you use. So you'll want to go by UA's deadlines first. And then ours will vary by program. So that'll all be on that main program overview page that I showed on the website. Okay. But another consideration, looking at 2021 with everything going on with COVID, we do encourage students and want to reassure them that if you're interested in 2021, you're more than welcome to start your application, and you're not financially bound until that final forms and payment deadline. So that does also vary by program, but it tends to be late August, early November. So if before that date you change your mind, or it becomes apparent that it's just not an option, you're more than welcome to withdraw or defer to a different location or term. And then moving forward as well, if we have to cancel before the program start date, you're entitled to a full refund. So we like to reassure students that go ahead if you're interested and want to start the process, you're more than welcome to, because you don't have to worry about that financial piece. The only thing would be that final forms and payment deadline. That's kind of your deadline for making withdrawals and last minute decisions like that. So.
Okay, awesome, thanks.
Yeah, of course. Well, I will be following up with everyone with a little list of easy reference links, both to the program information on our scholarships, and then a link to our program advisor calendar. If you want to follow up with program specific questions, you're more than welcome to. But aside from that, if there's any other questions, I'm happy to take them. Otherwise, that's about all that I have.
I have one question from you, Jenny.
Sure.
In regards to kind of your alumni, so student goes abroad, comes back, what kind of follow-up or resources do you provide for your students who studied abroad when they come back?
Yeah, actually, thanks for bringing that up. So we do have both a Facebook and a LinkedIn group for ISA alumni, where we make opportunities in the field of education abroad available to students. And you also get a guide for career resources. So it's a really great guide for helping you incorporate your study abroad experience into your resume and into interviews that you'll be going into after graduation. So study abroad really is this priceless experience that goes beyond just taking classes, and we'll help you talk about and leverage those skills when the time comes. So that career resource guide, the networking groups, and then some of the students actually come back and participate in our Global Ambassador program. We do have a couple there at UA. where they help out the office with on-campus events. They help us out with advising. So there's a number of ways to get involved after you get back from your program and really leverage all the skills you gained while you were abroad.
Great, thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Again, thanks so much for joining us today for the information session. I'll be sure to send out a little follow-up email, and just know that, you know, both myself and then the study abroad office there at UA, like, we're all here to help. Definitely take advantage while you can as a student at UA. It's the best time to get abroad. Take advantage of the scholarship funds that are out there and all the staff that are here to help you find the right program.
Yeah, thanks so much, Jenny. Thanks, Professor Barry.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you everyone for coming, and thanks Jeannie for all the information you've shared. And do want to encourage students, if you have any questions regarding the UA side of things, studying abroad, please let us know. You can make an appointment with one of our advisors as well, whether via Zoom or in person. Both options are available this semester. So with that, I will close this out, but thanks again, Jenny, for
yeah, of course. Thank you guys so much, and best of luck on your endeavors abroad.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.